Hi, how are you guys? All right, so Virgos, I'm intending this to be a quick read, but I just said that in one of the other zodiac reads and it turned into like 30 minutes, so we'll just see. So in any case, this is all about what might Virgo be manifesting, all right? And of course, we decide what we're going to manifest, but I'm just doing that kind of intriguing read. So here's the thing. I wanted to first start out with a card out of a deck that I had pre-ordered, and I'm so excited that it's here. I absolutely love it. It is the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. And so because it is a new deck to me, I had to do a pre-shuffle for you so I could read up on it for you. So here's the thing. It came out in the reverse, and in this deck, if it comes out in the reverse, it actually means it is like a doubly important message. Now, this particular card comes out of the segment of the deck that's referring to the shadow side, which I think is very interesting. So it's, bear with me because this can go in a couple different ways, but Jumbi is the from the Caribbean, and this is like the shadowy spirit, kind of scary energies out of the Caribbean. This is all about masks, right? So it is about needing to find the strength and the power to completely reveal oneself. It encourages us to quiet our heart and ask ourselves, are we afraid? Or have we not been listening to something? Have we been kind of like masking our own selves, masking our own thoughts? Or is this referring to someone else? Is a relationship perhaps built on some lies? So it is about deserving clarity, but also needing to look at things with very clear eyes. But it's also sometimes about being able to take off our own masks. So what is it that we're hiding from ourselves? What is it that we're not seeing clearly? So either are we not seeing it ourselves clearly, or was someone else not being truthful? To get to the answer, we would need to get really, really super, like I say, kind of quiet and look at things with the most raw vision, the most authentic, like, okay, how do I really feel about this? How am I am I not saying what I really wanted to say? Or is there some piece of me that I haven't really shown to someone else? Have I been holding on to something without acknowledging how much pain there was in that for me? Have I been trying to act like I'm fine when in fact I'm still hurting? That's a lot of different questions to ask. Hang on, I got to make some space here. So it's interesting to start out with, what are you going to manifest? And immediately we say, well, first off, is there some shadowy energy to deal with before we move into the manifestation? So, I think that's such a great question to ask ourselves. But in this case, it could be what is affecting our ability to manifest. Page of Swords. Step back. Look at everything. This is collecting information and being very astute in our interpretation of information. You're manifesting more knowledge. You're manifesting manifesting an awareness and some knowledge regarding a situation where there was not love nor apologies. I feel like some of you are first manifesting understanding of a situation where somebody maybe lied to you. Maybe all along you thought, well, they didn't want me. And maybe you're recognizing, no, they didn't feel good enough in themselves. They didn't love themselves. They couldn't give an apology or a love offer because they didn't think they had enough to offer me. This may be a huge revelation for you guys, that it was never that you weren't good enough. Maybe you've been holding in a hurt and holding back some pain from a situation. And now you're just now realizing, wow, it could be that person was way more wounded than I was. They might have hurt me, but they might have first been coming from such a place of lack. Both of these are cups. Both of these cards are about emotions and someone not able to give, someone not able to apologize, someone who does not have their own cup full. This could be like somebody with a big emotional deficit, and you're just now recognizing that. So you're manifesting awareness and knowledge for yourself regarding a situation that was not emotionally fulfilling, that had no, I feel like it didn't have an apology, nor did it have a new beginning. So I think that this is one that had been maybe a big wound you'd been carrying. Magician in the reverse. Deception. This was like, oh, this is going to be a wish come true. Someone promised me the world. They promised me that we were going to be married and have those kids, and we were going to have this incredible life together. This was a fairy godmother. This was too good to be true. This was like a magic wand where somebody said everything just right. And then it turned out that it was all, a trick, or perhaps it's how you had looked at it. But yes, the magician can be tricks. It can be illusions, right? But you're seeing it from a different perspective now, right? You're seeing where the deception came from. It doesn't have to be that this person was a villain who lied and lied. It could be that this person was still stemming from a very, a very rocky place. Maybe they really wanted to offer all those things, because we got this Queen of Cups. Somebody wanted your love so much, and they didn't feel good enough to have your love. And this could be a twin flame card, a twin flame energy. We got the Two of Cups here. Lots of emotions in this reading. I feel like you're only just now understanding the why of something that didn't work out. Again, I'm asking, what are you manifesting? And the first thing you seem to be trying to manifest is knowledge. I want to understand a situation that has perplexed me, a situation where I feel like there was lies, but this is getting to the why. Why were there lies? Oh, it was because somebody really did want me. Somebody wanted me to give them my love as well, but they didn't feel good enough to give something in return. Yet, here there was this profound connection. Very interesting. This is also the Epic of Gilgamesh. The oldest story ever told. It's an interesting one. I'm not going to go into it because I find it very convoluted and questionable morality from time to time. But that's just my personal opinion, right? But it's exactly what it's like, the Epic of Gilgamesh, all kinds of, adventures and, daring things that happen and confusing things that happen. And I almost feel like this has been an epic storyline. I don't feel like whatever you're trying to still make peace with or understand, it's already been a long story. Even the fact that this is the oldest story ever, I almost feel as if maybe this was a past life connection where you've already gone through this. And that's why it's like, why do I have to go through this again? Or why do I feel connected to this person again? This was a wild animal man who became good friends with Gilgamesh. That's why you see him as kind of like a wild animal man. And I'm not saying that one of you was a wild animal person, but I am saying that there is still an element of something that was always scattered, I want to say, in this. And I feel like your analytical mind wants to put it all together and make it make sense. And even though you could simply say, oh, that person was a liar, bam, that's it. They didn't really care about me. They were just a liar. You can't seem to let this go because you go, but no, I felt like they really did love me, but they couldn't give. They didn't feel good enough in themselves. There was a true connection here, is a true connection here. Does not mean that it's something that is easy. I feel like a lot of you are maybe making sense of a confused situation that has lingered. Now, I'm asking about what are you manifesting? I'm not trying to talk about the past, but if that had been something that you're still looking for knowledge on, and that's the way I would see that. Maybe some of you are even researching past life connections, lessons, that kind of vibe. Some of you are still looking for answers to this. You want to understand it all. So to talk about understanding, we got High Priestess and we got the Star card. High Priestess is about secrets and deep inner knowledge. Some of you are extremely intuitive, and this I'm going to say, I want to use the word strange, but this, I should say perplexing journey that you've been on of like understanding that there was lack of truth, but there was still truth, even in the lack of truth, if that makes any sense. It's like somebody didn't really give you an offer. That was an illusion, yet their emotion for you was true. And still, it's been very complicated, very difficult. Someone still is unable to step up to the plate. So basically, they gave you what they wish they could have given you. But it would be like if somebody gives you a gift card, but there's no money on it. They wanted to give you that $100 gift card. They really did. They even gave you the gift card, but they never put the money on it. That's what I feel like. And so there's a confusion of, so why would somebody do that? That was just some weird game. No, they showed you what they wanted to give because they really cared, but they couldn't back it up because they didn't have the money in the bank to put on that gift card. That's the best way I could say this. But there's also, it's led you down this road of you realizing you have a deeply intuitive side, and it is a strange gift from the universe that it's through this difficult set of circumstances that have been confusing and have been perplexing that you've actually come to understand how much you are able to pick up and absorb and understand, even though there's no reason that you should know it. So basically, your intuitive abilities are something that you're starting to recognize, perhaps. And the fact that you are empathic, and even the fact that you can sense things that are very hard to put into words. And it's like, I'm probably not going to tell anybody else about, this connection that I have to someone, or the fact that I can sense that I've already been down this road with them before in past lives. I'm not going to verbalize it. I just kind of know somehow. Let me see more about the Star card, because you're manifesting more awareness. You're manifesting Star card, Lovers in the reverse. What I'm asking is, what are you manifesting? You're manifesting some awareness, some knowledge. You are manifesting your own understanding of a situation that someone wasn't healed enough to be. And again, we see the twins, right? It's like the twin flame, even though this is a Gemini card. We have Aquarius, we have Gemini, we have Cancer. What else did we have? We had Gemini, Virgo with the Magician. That's all we have so far for majors. You guys are understanding something at a very profound level, making peace with it at a deeply profound level. That is a huge, huge, huge ability to understand something and heal your own self, because you're simply aware that the other individual wasn't able to be as healed. Four of Swords. Even in the silence, you're able to, maybe throughout all this time where there has been silence, you've come to these conclusions, you're manifesting this understanding. Now you're actually able to communicate it. Maybe you are finally able, where once there had been hurt, pain, blocked emotions, now you're able to actually say, I hope this person heals. I really do, because I feel like they're the other half of me somehow. And I wish that they would find that they are, that they can accept themselves, and that they didn't ever need to give me a $100 gift card. They didn't need to try to give me a ton. They just needed to be honest and say, I really like you, but I can't give a lot right now. It's instead they came on as if they could step up to the plate and be your match, because they wanted to be your match, but they weren't really. But you're finally able to see it. You're healing from it. You are manifesting like this deep awareness, but I feel like you're almost transmitting it to this person as well. Six of Swords, totally transforming. I mean, that's what the butterfly is. Transforming and moving on from the hurt that you missed out on this great happiness. This person was not, we got this page of cups here as well. Same thing. This person isn't going to come in and be able to say, I'm sorry, and can we start again? Because it was never a mistake that they did this in the first place. As long as they keep behaving in a certain way, they're going to keep coming up short. They're not going to match you. They may never be able to match you. So you didn't miss out on a great love, and it isn't a moment where they're going to suddenly come in, because I don't know that, I mean, they could, but you can't manifest them doing that. You can only manifest what you are going to do, right? And I think that's the big reveal here, is that if they're going to change anything, that's all about them. You can't manifest what they're going to do. You can only manifest for yourself, which is, I have to move on from the thought that I missed out on a great love, or the wish that they would come in and they would make it right. That's the part that I have healed from. That's the part I can release myself from hoping for. This is a huge and beautiful set of manifestation, because this doesn't hurt anymore. You actually realize they really did want this, but unless they can figure their stuff out and come in and offer me something, then there's not anything I can do here. But it was never because they didn't want to offer you something. It was that they didn't feel like they measured up. But again, that's not yours to manifest for them. Now, if you are twins, the very act of you no longer being hurt by what they didn't offer you is actually going to help them heal too, perhaps. You know, anyone that we have like an energetic vibe with, you know, how, have you ever answered the phone and somebody's in a rotten mood and they can put you in a bad mood by the end of the conversation? Because you're like, what the heck? Why are they so hostile? You know, it's kind of like that. Like, you have zero hostility. You have zero pain. You're not holding on to a wounding anymore. You truly are shifting. You truly are like acknowledging things that you already knew. You already knew that this person really, really, really loved you, cared about you, really, truly does love and care about you. But if they will not find the confidence in themselves to really show up, you can't manifest strength into them, but you can into you. So as you release yourself from this, as you move forward, let's see what happens. This is beautiful. I mean, you're manifesting, it's not even just healing. You're manifesting like the acknowledgement of what you already kind of knew to be true. Wow. King of Pentacles in the reverse, Hermit in the reverse. Releasing yourself from stuck energy, completely healing, realizing that you don't stay places where, let's put it this way. Would you move to an area where there's absolutely nothing growing? There's no trees, there's no water, it's a pure desert, and you go, I'm going to make a farm here. Of course not, right? Because you can see that the things that you need to support the crops that you're going to plant or the animals that you want to have, you've got to have, you know, land that looks fertile. This is saying, wow, I've been waiting for someone who is right now emotionally in a desert to give me a bunch of love. But how can they, if they are, the way they feel about themselves is a desert? They can't give me support and nourishment and love if they are in a themselves. They feel like a desert. So what can I do? Oh, I can acknowledge that I have worked really hard on healing, and I can come out of hermit mode, and I can basically maybe energetically show them what it looks like when you've healed. That might actually give them strength as well. Not that you're doing it for them. I feel like all this is just awareness for you. Like, well, wait a second. Life is beautiful, and I'm fortunate to be here, and there's millions of people to meet on this planet. There's millions of people that are enjoyable and are fun and that would be wonderful to spend time with. And I'm not going to isolate myself and pretend like I'm not interested in meeting a great love when I want to have a great love in my life who can reciprocate. Maybe you really wanted it to be this person and you waited and you kept hoping and thinking that they would figure it out and they would come forward. A lot of you A lot of you know that there is still a potential that this person could show back up in your life at some point. This did come out sideways. You are not making the final judgment. You are saying they have to figure out if they can move on from the desert. But in the meantime, I am definitely moving on from the desert. Princess of Wands, I am going where there is more life. I'm going to fertile valleys. I'm going to go meet new people. I'm going to let myself fall in love again. I'm open. I'm receptive to that now. So you are manifesting a healed version of yourself that is also not closed off or hurt or sour over what happened with that other person anymore. And now, of course, this is just a story, but this wouldn't be appropriate for those of you who had like some terrible person who hurt you intentionally and all those things. You know, I don't read stories about people that are clinically ill or anything like that. And so that's, if you dealt with that, this is definitely, you're not going to listen to stories about that. That's a valid, you know, completely different storyline that requires professionals, right? This is a story for entertainment, but it is an inspirational story because it's about like, wow, if somebody just couldn't, you knew that they cared, but they didn't put in the time or the effort, and you thought, so what, they lost interest in me? No, they really, in this story, all we've seen again and again is someone who didn't love themselves enough to think that they had enough value to give you something of value, not the value that they thought you were worth. So instead, they just gave an illusion and then kind of ran away because it was embarrassing that they'd given you an illusion. Didn't answer the phone again, you know, ghosted, disappeared on you. And this is you saying, I actually do understand why they did it. I'm not lying to myself about it. I understand. And I have understood all along that it was never me. It was them. And maybe someday they'll figure it out, but I'm not waiting. I'm not holding my breath for it. I'm going a new direction. I'm going to have a passionate, exciting life, all new adventures. This is you. I mean, super youthful. Some of you are looking really fly right now too. Some of you, there's a sense of newness, a sense of excitement that comes with this butterfly flying away from the hurt and the anxiety and the pain that had come along with, you know, wondering, is this person going to come in and tell me that they're sorry they treated me this way? You don't need them to come in and say that they're sorry. This, not in this story. You actually understand they didn't do it to actually hurt you in the first place. So it's to ask somebody to say that they're sorry when they didn't really do it on purpose. It's simply that you've come to an understanding with this. And more importantly, you've turned your attention back to you. So here you go. Absolute confidence, full steam ahead. Any more illusions? No, thank you. Quick romances that come on too fast that offer you the world, probably not going to be the kind of offers that you accept next time. You are manifesting only solid, positive growth opportunities. And I don't think you will ever look back to this story again, the story of the past hurt, the story you'd been putting behind you, because there is something really amazing about this. The only mask perhaps that Virgo wore in this was the mask that they kept thinking, maybe I wasn't good enough. You knew all along that was a lie. You knew that this person really cared about you. You knew that the problem somehow was in the fact that they didn't have the confidence in themselves to be able to be in the relationship with someone right now. And so they're maybe still on a journey, but you also don't have to wait for them to complete their journey, nor do you have to say, I'll never speak to them again. They're cut off. They're no longer a part of my life. Instead, it simply is, it's almost like you're going to take a moment and say, you know, vaya con Dios, you know, go on your journey and be well. I want you to I want you to know how much I thought so highly of you. I hope someday you think that highly of yourself. In the meantime, I'm turning my attention to this. And it's like, it's such a huge reward because your entire world is about to kind of like take off like a rocket. All this new excitement, all this new abundance, all this new self-confidence for you, all this certainty that you are ready for the love of a lifetime, the excitement of a lifetime, new adventures. Nothing though that is like frenzied, if that makes sense, because this is like love at first sight kind of stuff. This Prince of Cups, this is, Eros, Cupid, he pulls back an arrow and whatever it strikes, it's crazy, mad in love. That also represents sometimes people who fall in love with love. They love the honeymoon phase, but then it fizzles out. That's what you're not interested in. You're only interested in tangible long-term growth. And you are so certain of it that it just gets really clear. It gets really clear that you're loving your life. You're loving all the potential that you see ahead of you. And you sense that you are just about to have, I feel like whoever you meet next could be a Sagittarius, but whoever you meet next is someone that you will really grow with. Since we're already 25 minutes and 51 seconds deep, let's go ahead and ask about that Wheel of Fortune, because that is such a huge card for you. Let's go this route. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. What is that? Because that's a big turning point. Ooh, Palace of Swords in the upright. Logical thought process, possibly an air energy coming in. This is you being very organized in your mind. I feel like some of you are going to have such clarity of mind, such an incredible amount of power. I will say this, you moving on, the way you look at things, you may be able to, if there was any leftover irritation or anger, you're able to actually talk yourself right out of that anger, because you can see it without the emotion. Because this can be angry, like, harsh words, but this is you saying, oh, there's nothing harsh left in this situation. This, though, could also be that somebody's irritated that they see you moving on and you really, truly closing a door on something. Sorry, like, this is how many cards jumped out into my lap, so I'm not taking any of those. There's one that stayed on the table, and we'll take it. Seven of Swords in the reverse. So same thing, no lies, no wearing masks, none of the... You're manifesting raw truth, no matter how hard it may be. Ooh, Palace of Wands in the reverse. Moving forward into logic, Moon card. Moon card is, I kind of feel, hold on. Three of Cups in the reverse. I kind of feel as if with this turn of good fortune for you, it almost seems like the more logical you get, the more you can see, like, oh, wow, I shouldn't have been ever that upset over this. There was no reason to be that upset because the truth was always there. Somebody's heart wasn't really that open. So in all honesty, with the Moon card, this is like the secrets being revealed. You and this person, although there were great similarities there, you weren't really choosing the same kind of life. So it wouldn't have been what worked. I feel like some of you and the Wheel of Fortune for you is representing your thought processes moving forward. Lots of times I look at Wheel of Fortune like, okay, what action is coming in for you? But Virgo, this looks like it's all mental, especially because we start with that Palace of Swords. Your mind is like moving forward in how you manifest the next amazing partnership for you. What you're realizing is, wait one little minute here. And maybe you are releasing any final irritation that you had towards yourself. Anything that you're like, that person lied to me though, and I want to be sure that people don't lie to me anymore. You're like, wait a minute. No. People show you who they are, and all you have to do is watch the behavior, and then it's pretty clear. So when you manifest next time, if you see somebody who shows you actions that don't match words, it gets really simple, and you go, wait a second. There's going to be a lot of people that you do have connections with that you think, oh, they're just like me. because there are certain similarities, yet you could still live your life in such different qualities that you wouldn't match well together. And I feel like that is this huge revelation. Again, take a look at that. What do you see? Masks, right? We begin with masks and we end with masks. This is you, Virgo, ultimately changing. Have you been a dog and now you want to be a wolf? Or have you been a wolf and now you want to be a dog? Look, these two creatures are almost identical. 99.999% same DNA. However, I've described this way since the first time I ever worked with this deck, which was a long time ago. This is where, and maybe you've been extremely loyal. You know, you dreamt of like living in one zip code, having one particular house, but maybe now you want to be more mobile. Maybe you actually are like, you know what? I want to be more nomadic. I want to meet a mate wolves mate for life. They're loyal too in a totally different way. But there's this, sense of freedom. There is something different about you, and you're realizing something different about what you want. You're not any less loyal, but you are recognizing that this whole experience has changed you subtly. It's changed who you really want, and it's changed the quality of partner that will be right for you moving forward. This has been a huge revelation. So this whole experience that you had with this person was not just that you recognize some things about them. You've now also unmasked something about yourself. The type of partner that you want is not who you thought you wanted before. How interesting. What does that mean? It could be different for every person, but who you're looking for, who you're manifesting, the right partner for you is a totally different person than who you thought it would be. Got a Queen of Coins in the upright. This is usually like somebody who wants to build a home, be stable. Two of Coins. But you still seem to want... It's weird because I feel like you want a house in two different locations. I'm not saying that you want like two totally different relationships. I feel as if you want both worlds. You want a stable, loving, committed partnership, but I don't feel like you want to live just one style of life. It's as if you want to be able to still explore, like with your partner. You want to travel with your partner, but you also want a solid home base. Or maybe you and your partner, you're like, oh man, let's own a home in two different locations. Or let's not have one specific zip code, but let's migrate back and forth. In the summer we're here, in the winter we're here. I feel as if you want some kind of stability combined with adventure. So it can't be all adventure, nor can it be all stability. Either one of those would be too heavy for you. You need other adventures to look forward to, and you want somebody who matches you. We keep seeing Libra scales here too, right? We keep seeing the desire for balance. We see it here. There's Libra scales. There's Libra scales being offered to you. And then even with the... the Two of Pentacles is about harmony. It's about balance. It's about balancing things out. We kind of keep seeing this. You're realizing that what you want is a very unique kind of a mate and a very unique style of life. You need a certain amount of freedom with stability combined. Interesting. What a lovely reading. I feel like it has everything to do with you want an adventurous partner. You want someone who has the same excitement and lust for life that you have, yet has stability. Like they want a stable partnership, but they also want to go places, want to explore the world with you, is what this seems like. So that's what you're calling in. Some of you may be calling in... you might be saying, I know that I will meet the right person and that I will have the love that I really crave, but it'll be when I am... I feel like some of you are going to have like dual citizenship, or you're going to meet somebody who has dual citizenship. So maybe you're going to meet them when you're not in your environment. I don't know why, but that just seems to come across so heavily in this reading. You want more than one flavor of life in this lifetime. Anyway, I'm going to leave that one there. I don't know if that'll resonate with anybody. I just put the story out however it pops out. So take good care of yourselves, Virgos. And you know, I wish you nothing but the best and all the healing possible and all the success and happiness and love. Whatever you manifest for yourself, may it be absolutely amazing. Bye.